عنوان بعدی ما پروفسور دوگین از مسکو هست. Я думаю, что присутствие профессора Дугина здесь уместно, можно сказать, потому что профессор Дугин авторитетный человек, и еще он известен по евразийской теории и по его книге по теории Евразии. Мы приветствуем ваше присутствие, господин Дугина. Он у нас еще лекции читал в течение этой недели, лекции читал у наших студентов в Теheranском университете. Мы рады вас слышать, господин профессор Дугин, пожалуйста. Но мы ограничиваем себя, همون اگه اجازه بدید صرف 10 دقیقه تا حداکثر 15 دقیقه رو رعایت کنیم که بتونیم یه چند دقیقه هم برای سوال و پاسخ در خدمت دوستان باشیم. مقصر نه ما برگزار کنندگان هستیم نه سخنرانان. دو تا از سخنرانان هم دیروز به جلسات نرسیدن، امروز باید صحبت کنند، بنابراین مقدار وقت محدود میشه. به راست.
Thank you very much. I would like to express my gratefulness for organizers of this very important and actual conference concerning cooperation in the region. So I would like to say some words concerning Eurasianism and Eurasian Union, because these projects announced by Mr. Putin some time ago that begins now to function as a kind of integration of post-Soviet space, it is not only a pragmatical step to organize some cooperation on the economic level, but it is a kind of manifestation of some political philosophy that lays inside of this concept. So I represent Eurasian philosophy, Eurasianism, this intellectual tradition that now becomes something concrete in the course of Mr. Putin. I developed Eurasianism from 90s, and now it became that we could define as a kind of ideology for Russia. So it is a time to say more about Eurasianism. What is Eurasianism? Eurasianism is political philosophy that affirms that Russia is not a country as European country or Asian countries. It is civilization. And in order to understand the historical nature of Russia and form of conduct in the history of Russia, we should compare Russia with Europe as whole, or with Islamic civilization as whole, or with such a huge social historical construction as China or India. And that was the original idea of Eurasianists, the founding fathers of this world vision. And what is the kind of nature, historical nature of Eurasia understood by them? That was partly Western and partly Eastern, partly European, partly Asiatic. So that sounds a little bit like concept of Iranian leader Ayatollah Khamenei, nor east nor west, not east nor west, Iranian revolution. So for Eurasianists that never were the partisans of the communism, they were traditionalist, Orthodox Christian philosopher. Eurasianism is a kind of synthesis between East and West, a very particular set of values. And basing of the defense of these particular values was constructed historical strategy of the Russia. And integration of post-Soviet space is not considered as application of this vision to the concrete geopolitical reality. So the Eurasian Union is manifestation and realization or project of special historical philosophy that affirms that post-Soviet space shares with Russia the same civilizational identity. That is not only pragmatic unification of economies, that the community of the destiny. So that historically Soviet Union or Russian Empire were historical expression of the same community of destiny, of different people, Eastern, Central Asian people, and more or less Western Slav people. So that is the sense of Eurasianism. But at the same time, that means that Russian identity is not only Christian and European. We have also very important part of Islamic and not in the European population. Tatars, Caucasians, Mongols also, Siberian ethnics. So Russian people is multi-ethnic unity with Eastern and Western features, whereas Christian, Orthodox Christian identity and Islamic and other identities. So it is combined identity. That is the reason why we could unite also not only Ukraine and Belarus as Slavic Orthodox countries, but also Central Asian countries with Islamic traditions. These countries we consider to be more closer to Eurasian civilization than to other kinds of civilization. That is the sense of Eurasianism. There are two manners to understand Eurasian Union actually. We could regard it as in realistic terms of international relations, as the effort of Russia to recreate, reaffirm its regional hegemony. It is correct. I would agree with that. Realistically speaking, that is the case. But that is not all content of Eurasian Union, because there is also quite different political philosophy behind this project. And this political philosophy we could define as theory of multipolar world. What is multipolarity? I have written a book that is called Theory of Multipolar World that now is discussed largely in Russia at the highest level. So the theory of multipolar world, multipolarity, that is not the kind of balance between national interests. It's not the same as realistic analysis of international politics in the terms of balance of power, of balance of hegemonies that Mr. Dr. Dusala Kalantari has evoked. It's completely different concept. Multipolarity is balance of civilizations. The main actor of multipolar world is not the national state, because national state in present conditions could not affirm and confirm its sovereignty. To affirm someone's sovereignty, we need integration. So we need to create great space, Großraum in German, in order to be independent and sovereign geopolitical unity. European unity is one of examples of that. United States is another example of that. It is great space, but United States insists on the global hegemony, and we could accord to them only regional hegemony. So, Eurasian Union is conceived by Putin as a future pole of multipolar world, as a future and potential great space based on civilizational unity. So, the other great spaces of the multipolar world that are Europe, United Europe, American, Canada, Mexico, integration in Islamic world, integration of Indian subcontinent, greatest China, Taiwan including, and maybe some other forms of integration in the Pacific area. So, the multipolar world is completely different concept of the vision of future. It's not anymore Westphalian order based on national sovereign statehood. It cannot be realistically seen in the future. And many American analysts, for example, as Krasner, affirm that sovereignty is hypocrisy now, because there is only one really sovereign country, United States, and they realize all others depend up to a certain level from this global hegemony. So we should consider the concept of hegemony in other terms. The state, national state, could not afford anymore real sovereignty, could not defend from the potential aggression of global hegemony. So it is not sovereignty. But we could create a balance of powers on the world scale basing on civilizations as actors. That it is in its essence, I am finishing, the essence of multipolar world theory. And for a conclusion, I have expressed some of my vision in Persian language in book by book called Fourth Political Theory, Teorie Şerhom Siyasat. The book is published in Iran, and I hope that you could learn more in this book. But I would like to say that when we are speaking about Iran in Eurasia, which role Iran should play in this vision, I think that most important step to realize real multipolarity is the creation of axis, Moscow-Teheran axis, so uniting the north and the south of Eurasian strategical region with common co-hegemony, regional co-hegemony between Russia and Iran. Because in all other strategical regions, precisely evoked by Mr. Kalantari, we see that our interests, Russian national interests in Caucasus and in Central Asia, and Iranian national interests in the same regions coincide totally. And first of all, our interest is to put aside exterior foreign players in the regions, precisely United States, NATO, and European presence. So, Central Asia should be freed from the external, not regional players that try to play more and more role here. So that is a main strategical and security reason for Russia. It's the same as so for Iran. So joining our efforts, we could create very important axis, main axis in construction of multipolar world, axis Moscow-Teheran. But at the same time, we should not ignore such very important regional players in the Central Asia as Pakistan, and that concerns Afghanistan and future destiny after the moment when the forces of occupation will quit this country. We will be in charge, Iranian, Pakistanis and Russian also, to reorganize Afghanistan, to help to this country to revival after occupation. And we could not ignore Turkey as the other very important strategical players. So we have three Islamic countries with very different orientation, Iran in the center, Turkey to the west and Pakistan to the east, who are key players in the organizing of this strategical space. I think that we should progress and develop any kind of theoretical debates concerning strategical vision of the future in the frame of theory of multipolar world and understanding better what Eurasianism means. Thank you very much for your attention.